Hi, it's Gut Health Mama. I hope you're having a great day. I am talking today about sugar. Do you crave sugar? Are you a treats person? When you need a snack, are you looking for a pastry? Do you go to coffee shops and get 1,000-calorie sugary drinks? Even if you're like, I'll do the no sugar vanilla sweetener, you're just craving sweets. I'm here to remind you there are other flavors to enjoy, but I'm also here to say, I get it. I love sweets. So those of you that have watched my recent episodes know that I was in Lake Tahoe for a family reunion. Amazing. First time there. Then I was in Vegas for my convention for my online business. Fabulous. Such a fun time. Both trips, I was not worried about my quote diet. And by that, I mean just how I eat. I am not a fan of actual diets. I don't like deprivation because I feel like then I'm just thinking about it more. If I'm like, no this, no that, and then I'm just feeling constricted. I'm just about moderation myself. And so after 2 weeks of, well, let's talk about Tahoe, there were donuts multiple days. There were other treats. There were frou-frou drinks that had tons of sugar in them. Those little popsicles from Costco right now, they're like long adult Otter Pops. Amazing. But more sugar than I need. And then in Vegas, there was the dessert reception. There were all these wonderful treats and also drinking. But when I came home, I was like, man, I need to reset. Like I felt inflamed. I felt kind of gross, just like you do when you travel. And I knew I needed to take a couple days to just reset my system and help my poor gut. I've been I've been amazed at what a few days off of sugar did. So I went 6 days, no sugar, no refined sugar. Now I include fruit as long as you're eating the fiber with it. Like we don't do juice in our house, including with my kid, because you're just taking in empty calories. There's no fiber coming in to digest that fruit juice. And so that sugar is not really healthy. But if you have an orange and you're eating the fiber with the orange, your body can process that sugar better. And it's a natural sugar, not the refined, good old white sugar. And I'm the first person to say I like treats. I bake homemade cookies. We are totally fine having, well, I don't eat as much ice cream ever since the emulsifiers episode. That really upset me. But we'll have ice cream once in a blue moon or some other version of a treat. My favorite is a big bag of these chocolate chips that we just take a couple chocolate chips out when you need a snack, or we mix it with nuts to make our own trail mix. So that being said, I knew I needed a sugar detox because I was feeling gross and I'd had a lot of sugar and I was a couple pounds heavier than when I had left. And I was so proud of my 10-pound weight loss and want to keep going that I thought, okay, let's redo this. So day one, all I could do was think about sugar. Have you been like that? It's crazy. You're like, I'm not going to do this. This is why I don't normally diet. But all day I was like, oh, my kingdom to make some banana nut muffins, right? But I said, no, I won't do it. I had brought some bread back because I'm really thrifty. We were done in Tahoe and there was still like, I don't know, a third of a loaf of bread from a grocery store. And I was like, oh, don't waste. So we brought it all the way home. And I went in, I was like, I'll just toast a piece of bread and put some peanut butter on it. And then I looked at the bread. There were, it's the equivalent of 3 teaspoons of sugar per slice. And this is in some natural, whole wheat bread from the grocery store. And it's gross, you guys. This is how much sugar is in our day-to-day stuff. This is why we make our bread at home and why we choose to make a lot of food at home. And if you have the ability to do that, I highly recommend it, even if it's just one extra meal that you make at home instead of eating out or getting pre-packaged from the store, because there is so many additives. There are so many additives in this stuff. So would we take 3 teaspoons of sugar and sprinkle it on a piece of bread to make a tuna fish sandwich? I hope not. So I was really shocked as I was looking at how much sugar I was used to, and then the convenience food. And of course, we were, getting back into our rhythm in our house. And so we could go to the grocery store and make our own bread, etc. Day 2, it was a little easier of no sugar. I realized I often crave something sweet after lunch. And that was just good to know about myself. I've noticed that before, like after dinner, I don't really want sweets. I want to brush my teeth and be done with eating and have a few hours before I go to bed so I can digest. And having something sweet just kind of like kicks me back into gear. But I do notice I like sweets after lunch. And this is just good information. If you are craving sweets all the time, just start noting, when is it? Is it stress? Is it a certain time of day like it was for me? It might be any number of things, but that was pretty fascinating. And then I realized by about the fourth or fifth day, my natural fruit just tasted sweeter. So one of our favorite things to do is just a yogurt bowl. We make our own yogurt here in the house, and we have fresh raspberries right outside on our sweet little suburban farm. I am so grateful that we can grow fruit ourselves. And we had some blueberries from the store and melon. And so that, to me, it was like the fruit was so much sweeter. Like my taste buds were more in tune because of not being overwhelmed by sugar. Food just tasted better. And I always note how even my blood levels are, my blood sugar levels. Of course, I do take my pink drink, and that helps regulate blood sugar levels throughout the day. There's a lot of chromium in it to help your glucose metabolism, and so that I'm not having those ups and downs. But then on top of that, like having zero sugar for 6 days, I felt amazing. And then on the 7th day, God said, rest. So on the 7th day, I was like, I'm ready. I'm going to have a piece of toast with jam. I put some butter and jam on it. And it was good. Like, it was fine. I was like, all right, cool. You know, I thought it would be even more enjoyable than it was. And then that night, I was like, I need some chocolate. Amazing. The sugar had kicked back in, and all of a sudden, I was back on my desire to have sweets. So I am going to still have sweets once in a while, but I was pretty surprised by how much that affected me. Now, I feel better after a week of being home. I feel like those couple of pounds have gone. My bloating and inflammation from all the treats and special drinks has gone down. So I might still have my sugar treats, but I'm definitely a little more aware of how I need to cut back, because now I'm a little more in tune with when I'm craving stuff and how much better I feel without sugar. And remember, sugar highlights more parts of your brain than cocaine, okay? It is a highly addictive drug, and I certainly noticed that while I was on my sugar detox. So if there's one thing I could say, even though I'm not a fan of deprivation, try a week or say a weekend without sugar, or just like 3 days, 2 days, just a little one, and just notice how many times you think about it. Because if you like treats like I do, you might struggle and find some new things about yourself. Okay, enjoy the day.